Shalom Aleichem, blessed souls. This is Dan Matok, and we are in the day, the fourth day of creation, 5,769 years later. And the community of Israel will be reading on this blessed Shabbat the beginning of the third book of Leviticus, which we call VaYeekrah. Literally, that he called out, the Most High called out to Moses. That's what is described. That's what's being depicted at the beginning of this portion of the Torah, of the scripture. Excuse me. That he called out to Moshe, and the Most High spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying. That being said, blessed souls, if you want, you can learn the portion of the week starting from chapter 1, verse 1. Until chapter 5, verse 26. And then we have a tradition in Israel on every Shabbat to read from something called the HafTorah. There was a time when Israel was being besieged by Rome, and they were not permitting the public reading of the Torah. So the sages at those time enacted a decree that rather than taking out the big Torah scroll, which would be obviously written from the Torah and it could cause people to get hurt and, heaven forbid, to be killed, that they would read something from the prophets which emulated the portion being discussed that particular week. So this coming Shabbat, blessed Shabbat in creation, day of rest and tranquility, we'll be reading from the prophet Isaiah chapter 43 verse 21 until, I believe it is chapter 44 verse 23. So we're going to be reading about 28, about 51 verses from chapter 43 and 44 from the prophet Isaiah, Yeshayahu, Navi. And just some points I'd like to share with you based on inspirational teachings from the VaYeekrah Rebbe, direct descendant of King David and King Solomon. And accompanying this video, hopefully in my space, I hope to post as well the video of King Selassie, who is known as the Lion of Judah of Ethiopia. And I think it's very interesting to see the perspective, sharing teaching from King Selassie and combining with this teaching of the VaYeekrah Rebbe, direct descendant of David and Solomon as well. So the idea that from the beginning of this portion is that it's mentioned that a man, when he'll bring from you a sacrifice to the Most High from an animal, and from the flock and from the sheep, and he should bring your sacrifice. Now, with that being said, in Hebrew we have 4 terms actually for the description of man in the following ascending order: Enosh, Gever, Ish, and Adam, with Adam, or Adam, man, being the highest title. So the question is raised by the Rebbe, why is man, who is the highest title for a human being, why is it that he is the one that must bring the sacrifice? You figure the level of man who sins is called Enosh, let him bring the sacrifice. But no, the point is, man, or the title of a human being called man, he is the one that should bring the sacrifice, because he has this ability to actually bring all matters of the world to get lakait, we say in Yiddish, elokut in Hebrew, elokus, joyfulness, some people call it godliness. And man has this power because he is made in the image of the Most High. We all have what is known as a Tselem Elokim, an image of the Most High within us, whether we be of the children of Israel or the blessed Bnei Noach, children of Noah, Ham, Shephet, and Japhet, Cham, Shem, and Yafet. And all of us have this divine image. What is this divine image, blessed souls? Well, when we are merciful, we are emulating his attribute of mercy. When we are kind, we are emulating at some level, on the human experiential level, on the level that we experience, that attribute. And particularly Israel has a specific role, tafchid as we say, to educate ourselves, to bring ourselves closer to the truth of the Almighty's plan, which is delineated in the Torah, and then to assist the children of Noah to understand better their purpose in the creation, by keeping the universal commandments, Sheva Mitzvot B'nei Noach, which are 7 active commandments, 6 of which are negative, meaning abstaining from various negative activities like murder, idolatry, blaspheming with the divine name, murder, adultery, not eating the limb of an animal while still alive, and making righteous legal systems so society can be stable and balanced, and not like, unfortunately, what we see in the majority of the world. Even here in America, there's a lot of imbalance, which, unfortunately, we see certain people getting very uptight when we offer feedback, and maybe that feedback can be perceived as criticism. But the point is, no, it's for the point of elevation, pointing out that actually there are divine principles that every country in the world can run itself by its people, its nation, within its own cultural standards, while we of Israel have to uphold the 613 commandments, and there's a unison between hand and glove, soul and body, giver and taker, taker and giver. With that being said, that there is a verse in Ecclesiastes that the world was given within their heart, meaning a person can find with his or her service to the Almighty that all matters that are found in the world are actually can be found within themselves. So there we have animal characteristics, so we say that there's animals in the world, and there's different types of animals, and there's different types of animal characteristics. How we react and interact with our food and our drink and our relationships. Hopefully we're acting in our relationships like the animals who are associated with kindness and not the animals who are associated with cruelty. Okay. Now, with that, and also we should recognize that within the souls of the human being condition, there's something called the seed of man and the seed of animal. The seed of man is referring to more elevated souls that are really, truly righteous, who know how to instruct the rest of men who are called the seed of animal. Now, it doesn't mean we look at those people who are called the seed of animal as animals. That would be pretty condescending, wouldn't I? think we all could agree on that. But rather that their essential service in this world is rectifying their actions and their speech and their thought process, and that which is called the seed of man, their service in this world is to rectify their intellect, raising it to the point where they can instruct other blessed human souls what does divine intellect dictate to us and instruct us and encourage us to follow according to the ways of Torah. And one cannot really be of the seed of man, what we say in the Neshama of Tzilut, unless they have purified themselves to the level where they actually go out and teach, and others come to seek their teachings. I'll be honest with you, I openly admit I'm of the seed of the animal. Not that I come from an animal, I didn't come from a monkey, neither did any human being for that matter. We openly reject any types of evolution. That's de-evolution, but that's just a parenthetical comment. Anyway, blessed souls, this is Dharma Talk, sounding up pretty succinctly. It was a little choppy presentation, but I'm only human. Sababa, rejoice, Ahav Echad, one love, Gorel Echad, one destiny, Kulanu, for all of us, B'dar Chinom, in a pleasant way and a peaceful way. Shalom, V'hamshich.